Well, it's a lovely humid and cloudy Sunday afternoon. It's about 4 o'clock on the River Loddon, and I'm down today for my first proper barbel trip, or stab at picking up a barbel of the season. Got my 12-foot 1 3/4 test curve Witchwood Rogue barbel rod, centre pin loaded with 10-pound line. Just a reassuring breaking strain to help cushion those lunges and powerful runs that barbel tend to make. Bait wise with me today, ground bait wise, you know me well guys, ever faithful birdseed, and just nice to use the bait dropper, or just if the flow's just right like it is today, just put some in by hand upstream and allow it to carpet the swim. It's sometimes better to do that than use a bait dropper because they can be a little bit finicky, and it can look a bit conspicuous seeing a pile of bait by a bait dropper, whereas the carpet effect works quite well. Obviously you do need a not too heavy a flow, and yeah, it looks just right today despite some of the rain we had recently. The flow's just a nice pace, steady but not too pushing through. Bait wise with me, got the following: nice glugged snail boilies. That's what I'm using today. And we use those in conjunction with a few halves broken up and put in. I don't believe in using too much bait. You know, you can't take out what you've put in, and once you put it in too much, you put your eggs in one basket and you might overfeed the fish, especially on areas of river where stocks and populaces of barbel are more spread out and the fish are quite nomadic. But that's what I'm going to be doing today. Just see if I can pick up a nice barbel. That'd be wonderful. As I say, first proper trip of the season. Yeah, so let's get set up and see if we can get a fantastic fight. See you in a bit. What I tend to do is when I drain this, I tend to leave a lot of the gluten and liquid still on it, and you can just squeeze it together a bit. That's just being attacked by a horsefly now. That just allows it to be squeezed and then put in. Get off. I'm trying to. You're not stinging me. Cheeky son. Right, just going to get cast out. All ready to. Nice, keep it simple, silly kind of rig. Low resistance, quick change run ring. Allows me to chop and change weights or feeders, etc. Drill and sink braid. Nice bit of putty there just to help pin it down. I'm not using a back lead to pin this down at all because it's can be a bit dodgy in certain swims. Using a back lead can cause you to get more snagged up. And very simple. Down to the end there. Little kicker on the hook or hooker liner. And as I say, nice blob of putty and a nicely glugged snail boilie. Let's get this cast out. Just upstream I did spot a few crays in the side. Three crayfish, 2 of them sat together. So fingers crossed that the fish are in the mood to push them out the way. It looks beautiful, doesn't it? Absolutely lovely run through here. It's a nice area. It's a bit of a straight here and then a bit of a sweeping arc. It's a little bit shallower on the opposite bank upstream here, and it's scoured out deeper along here. It just comes in and around to that lovely sweeping bend. There's a nice area just down here, but the only trouble is if you start trying to play the fish from that angle, you're bringing them through an area where it's quite snaggy and there's quite a lot of old trees and debris. So generally it's better to fish from this position down to the area where it just opens up from this bottleneck, which is where you saw me cast to, just on the edge of it. But they can be quite unsociable, the barbel, and it might well be that I might not get a bite. I might not even get a chance until it gets dark, or just after dusk, that kind of witching hour. They do tend to move quite a bit, you know, a good couple of miles, maybe even a little bit more than that, you know, up and down the river. So, got my fingers and toes well crossed. Well, there we go. Good old crayfish. We've been at it and extracted the extender stop. I use extender stop so I can draw it into the boilie, so it takes them longer to dig out. So, but there is at least some bait on the hair for the fish to still pick up. It's just getting that typical kind of rod tip pull. Tuck. Bane of an angler's fishing trips, the old craze. And two things in mind at the moment. The fish aren't in a feeding mood to push the crayfish out or to move into the swim. So get another bait on and get it recast, and just keep an eye on the rod tip and keep checking it every so often. And it was also dragged into a nice lump of wood as well by the crayfish. Right menaces, aren't they? Like, as you can see, made a right meal out of that boilie, which is just under half of a boilie left. Oh, typically just as I was filming, the battery went. I had a nice take there, as you would have seen. A rather healthy looking summer chub in the net. And let's just fall into the snail boilie. Much prefer them on a nice light quiver tip and link wedger though. Nice looking chub. Well, just had a nice scrap. Unfortunately the bankside action camera battery gave up at the time. A nice scrap off of this lovely £3 5oz golden nugget Loddon chevin. That's just taken on the snail boilie. Obviously I much rather prefer this on a quiver tip and link ledger. Maybe a nice lobworm trundled through, or a nice lump of bread. But yeah, regardless, it's got spawning tubercles on its gill plate on the opposite flank, so they are still, I think, a bit slow off the mark maybe. So whether we get a barbel today, I don't know. But yeah, nice to get a bend in the rod and a good fight on the centre pin. It's a lovely brassy fish, isn't it? Picture perfect. Anyway, let's get it slipped back. Still got my fingers well and truly crossed for a nice barbel. But who knows? It's only very early in the season. As I say, the fish could still be preoccupied with spawning. I'm going to give it go into darkness. And hopefully that centre pin will absolutely scream on, and I'll get my first barbel of the season. Who knows? There we go, £4 13oz. Good scrap, but on the barbel tackle. It's trying to rain and it's been thundering, lightning a little bit, quite blustery. Nice scrap, and not the barbel I'm after. Might have to call it quits for this trip and try again on another occasion. Anyway, let's get this beautiful looking chub slip back. Well, another afternoon and another trip. Yesterday was very enjoyable, and although I was going to make that into one video, I decided to come out today and make this a two-part video as such, with two trips, just to show that it doesn't always go to plan. I was pretty gutted though yesterday evening. I had those two nice chub, and I thought to myself, I'll have another cast and give it another hour. And well, my God, the centre pin absolutely ripped off. The rod was launched, and I do say that seriously, launched out the front of the rest. Butt grip just held onto the back of the rod as I lurched forward, and I was connected for best part of maybe 15 seconds to what felt a nice barbel, and then the hook parted. I was absolutely crestfallen. It's one of those moments where you're connected with a fish, your adrenaline comes to the surface, and then it's cut short, a real anticlimax. And yeah, it felt a nice fish. for the few seconds that we was connected, but did find that the hook point was turned over. So yeah, that was quite a pity, but still, two nice chub. Larger of those, £4.13. So I decided, as I say, to keep it realistic. Out again today, further downstream, and it really is a bit of a jungle, as you can see behind me. I've been absolutely pouring sweat. I know I'm not the slimmest guy ever, but it's really humid. And when you're trying to get through overgrown jungle like this behind me, you do sweat your body weight a bit. But that's what I'm doing today, giving a couple of swims a go in this section. I might stick in this one swim, but I might later on move into a little spot further downstream off the end of a bit of a bottleneck where there's ranunculus cabbage patch. It's not a deep swim, but the fish do like to get in there from time to time. So I'm going to go with bait drop with birdseed today, not going to go with loose fed. And yeah, fingers crossed, might get another bite of the apple, but then again might not. That's fishing though, isn't it? And as I say, I want to keep it realistic and show you that sometimes, although we might get a chance at our species that we're targeting, and get unfortunate incidents like that with the hook pull that I had yesterday evening, that, you know, sometimes you do need to be really focused and a bit single-minded, and at times a bit stubborn and bloody-minded, as a few of the chaps who fish the River Loddon will know what that's like. Anyway, I'm going to get my gear set up, and I'll see you guys soon. Well, I've not moved just yet. I've not gone down to the other spot. I think what I'm going to do is I've had a few little knocks. I'm not sure whether that's going to develop into anything. But I think if I am going to move downstream to the other swim, that won't be until after dark. So I do fancy that this spot might just still switch on. Yeah, it's been very quiet. There's been a few chub topping, a few chublets, small chub, taking flies. Yeah, very, very ominously quiet. Whether that is because we're off to a bit of a slowish start and bites from the barbel are at a premium, as per my last trip. It's making me really rue losing that fish the other night. Oh well. As I say, I'm going to give it a go into darkness here, and then maybe move downstream to that other spot. It's a lovely evening though, very settled. Lovely and cloudy. It's what you would call a perfect evening for a fish or two. Well, tell you what, the barbel might not be feeding at the moment. Just had an absolute clonking summer chub though. Take a look at this. Oh, it's a nice looking summer chub, isn't it? £5, 3 ounces. What a portly character. Once again, not a barbel. Although I'm ruining the opportunity that I had the other evening with the barbel. Can't really knock this, can you? It's beautiful. £5, 3 ounce. Talk about a really chunky chub. That's a big fish come winter. That's a good chub now. Even better one come winter. What a beauty. Lovely brassy tones. Look at that. What a beauty. I'll just bring myself back. There we go. You can get some idea of the proportion better. Wow. Very nice. Let's get you slipped back. Really good scrap as well, despite being on the barbel gear. Well guys, we're in. Got time too. That really ripped off. That was a good fish. Oh, oh. Oh, oh, come on. Yes! Yes! First barbel of the new season. Did that half go? Whew. Sorry I couldn't get the run on video. That just tore off on the bin. Whew. I don't normally do that in my videos, put the light on and the camera while I'm playing a fish, because I probably won't get another chance now, but I thought, as you chaps have been following me and on the video in the last couple of trips and not been able to see me play some of the chub, only that small one of £3.5, I thought I'd come down to this swim, drop down like I said to this other swim. I had that 5.3 chub and thought, well, you know, it's made a bit of a mess of the swim, I'll drop down into this swim further down where there's a bit of a bottleneck. Oh God. And yeah, I thought I'd bring the camera down and have the light on it, you know, and just, you know, if I do get a good take, get it on film. Obviously I didn't get the take on film, but I managed to give you chaps a bit of a visual side of the fight at night, and that's the useful thing with the camera light. Obviously it's going to do no favours for me picking up another fish now, but oh God. You can probably tell I'm absolutely, what is it they say about fishing? Long moments of peaceful tranquility interspersed with moments of sheer, unadulterated adrenaline and madness. Whew. Absolutely thrilled. Oh dear. Let's get her unhooked and weighed. Yes. Yes, really, really, really happy. There we go. Lovely way to start the season. £9, 12 ounces. Brilliant. So if I could have filmed the centre bin screaming off, it was like a bat out of hell. To coin a phrase. That's the beauty, isn't it? Absolute lovely looking Barbus. Barbus maximus. Oh, what a wonderful looking fish. Lovely set of proud feelers there. What a wonderful looking fish. A cracking scrap. Hope you enjoyed this kind of co-joined 2-trip video that I've done. As I say, I just wanted to make it so it was realistic, you know, to show the way some of the trips can go. And my apologies in advance if you didn't get to see as much fish playing action as possible. Usually, and at Sod's Law it does happen quite a lot, when I'm filming with my action camera, the battery will go at the most inopportune times. I mean, it's ridiculous. If I had £1 for every time when I'm using an action camera that the battery went when I had a take or hooked into a decent fish, I'd be quite wealthy. But there you go. It is what it is, and that's why I tried to get the footage with the light on the river whilst I was playing this fish in the dark, which is something you probably won't see me done on many of my videos. Obviously I don't, it's not the wisest thing to do. Obviously if he was hoping for another fish or two, it would pretty much ruin your chances, but I thought as you hadn't seen much fish playing action that I would try and get one on film during the night, and yeah, unfortunately didn't get the take, but got the rest of it on camera. That's more or less the end of the video for this time, and Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed it, hit the like button. If you've never watched the videos before, my fishing vlogs, if you've never watched them before, hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. That way you'll be able to keep up to date when I upload a new video. And yeah, as I say, if you like it, hit the like button. If you don't like it, well, you know, feel free to hit the dislike button. And if you didn't like it, well, peace upon you. It's your choice. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and until next time, tight lines, take care.